Terran cheese has always been popular, but we're mostly talking about Proxy Rax Marine. If they're feeling fancy, Proxy Reaper, and if they're feeling really crazy, you will see some Proxy Marauders. But today, I'm going to be proxying all the high-tech stuff. I want to do the craziest proxy cheeses Terran has. Proxy Ghost, Proxy Battlecruiser, you name it. Let's begin. Okay, the first game is against a Zerg. Now, I do have an idea. Well, this idea is a little bit insane. Now, obviously, that is kind of the point of this video. But what I wanted to do here is I want to go for a Proxy Ghost against Zerg. Now, that is a build that you will never ever see because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I was trying to find some logic in my head why this build would make sense, but it doesn't. But I did at some point use this and beat a good Zerg player with. What I did was I proxied 2 Ghost, I went for Cloak, and then I just started running in and killing drones. Because no one ever proxies Ghost against Zerg, because you would literally die to a single Spore Crawler. Like, if there's a Spore in the front, you're just dead, right? But people don't expect this kind of build. They're more likely to counter, let's say, a Proxy Reaper. I think even Proxy... excuse me, even Proxy Hellion, Hellbat, or something like that would be more logical than going for Proxy Ghost. So I feel like if we get lucky, we might be able to get away with this. Now, there's one micro thing that's very hard about doing Proxy Ghost against Zerg, and it's that Zerg units regenerate 1 HP instantly when they are hit. And Ghosts, 2 Ghosts, to be precise, do just enough damage to kill a drone. If you have even the slightest bit of desync, and I'm talking like really slight, like quite literally 1 Ghost is like an inch further away, the drones will already not get one shot. Like, you need to sync them up very, very well, and that is the hard part. Now, I'm not quite sure if the Overlords were already buffed back then, or if they're still going to scout me at the same time. In my mind, I'm going to get scouted relatively early. Now, we did get a big map, which is quite nice, but I suppose we'll see when the Overlord's going to arrive. Ghosts do take, I believe, about, 32 seconds to build? Or is that... I know that's how long a Reaper takes. It kind of sounds silly to say a Ghost takes as long as a Reaper, but it makes sense in my head. The Ghost Academies do actually build pretty... Wait. No, it's 29... Ghosts build faster than Reapers even. Oh my god. I mean, can you guys imagine how good Reapers could be if the devs weren't afraid of Reaper cheeses? Because a Reaper taking 32 seconds to build is actually pretty crazy. And the only reason that is the case, I have to imagine, is because otherwise you would just get Proxy Reapered every single game. And no one really wants that, right? But that is actually insane. I didn't know that. Marine and Marauder both build very fast. The Ghost build kind of fast. And the Reaper takes longer than a Ghost. Did you guys know that you can build 3 Hellions in the time that you can build 2 Reapers? So if you guys ever wondered if you're doing a Proxy Reaper and your opponent just gets Hellions out so freaking fast, that is actually because Hellions build 11 seconds faster than a Reaper. Like, it's actually a crazy amount. That I did know. So now we're going to get scouted. I would still guess he doesn't know this is going to be Ghost because this is so freaking weird. If I was him, I would definitely be sending out random Zerglings everywhere. Now, I can definitely tell that the Overlord Scout is a little bit too fast for this to be a actual proper strategy, but I mean, that is what I was expecting. Okay, so he's gonna see... Wait. Yeah, he's gonna see the Ghost Academy. Wait. He didn't see the Ghost. He must have seen the Ghost Academy, I have to imagine. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Cloak is gonna finish in 25 seconds. This is gonna be an enormous gamble, but I just have to take it, to be honest. So he's gonna find that. Let's see. I'm gonna wait here until Cloak is finished now. If he catches me with Lynx, we would die. I did get him to run away from that. Now, what I need to hope is just the fact that there's no Spore Crawler in position. If there's no Spore, then we're gonna have some play. Otherwise, we're not gonna have any play at all. So I think Cloak is gonna finish now. Yeah, it's gonna finish in 4 seconds. Let's see what we find. He's chilling on 1 base? Huh. Okay, well, that is interesting. Now he's just not going to be able to mine from his freaking base for forever. He's making a spine. Wait, did he not see the Ghost Academy or something? I'm actually so confused right now. Is he He's making roaches? Wait, I think he got mind gamed so freaking hard. Unless he has a lair finishing, this is actually like slightly problematic for him. Let's see, I'm going to kill those Zerglings as well. More Zerglings going to fall. That is nice. He's now going to try to surround me, but I do have Cloak, and now I can just snipe the roaches. Look at that. Wait. Oh, I forgot that they nerfed the snipe. The roaches don't die in 1 shot anymore. That is actually quite surprising, I have to say. Now, I'm going to have to go ahead and save this barracks. This was a way more successful than expected first attack, I have to say. I could probably just lift this for a little bit. I don't want it to burn. I think it barely didn't burn, so that is quite nice. Let's see, I can uncloak these now. This is a little risky, but I feel like it should be just enough ghosts to really defeat this amount of Zerglings. Now, what am I going to do after this? I actually have no idea. But I can't believe snipes don't one-shot roaches anymore. That actually caught me off guard so bad. Like, I'm kind of like, am I playing on a freaking mod or something? Like, snipes used to do like 170 damage or so. How much does it do now then? Snipe does 130 damage. Wow. So I guess snipes do one-shot Ravagers, but not roaches. Okay, that's actually freaking insane. I had no idea. Okay, so now he's going to try to fight the ghost. This is not going to go super well for him, I think. No, exactly. Only going to have to cloak one of these so the rest can stay up. Now, I do need to find something to do with, you know, my ghost now, because the initial idea, I guess, was to go for a Hellbat attack after this, because Ghost Hellbat is strong. But maybe I'm just scared because I just found out that ghosts don't one-shot roaches. But he also does have roaches to begin with, which are going to be extremely good against Hellbat attacks. I do have a lot of freaking ghosts, though, don't I? I have 6 ghosts, which is an insane amount for this early. I actually got ahead economically from this. So I think the Overlord Scout might have been a little bit too late even. Oh, he does have an overshot. I could probably kill that right away. Barely not going to get the snipe on that, unfortunately. Let's see, I could probably still kill it over here. Let's see. Okay, so now it dies. That is absolutely beautiful. And now I'm going to have all these ghosts. A couple of these are going to fall right away. Let's see, it's actually... Wait, is the bio going to... No, it almost hit the Zerglings. That would have been so freaking nice. Guess I'll just... can I save that one? Oh, I... kind of surprised I did manage to save it, to be honest. These ghosts are going so freaking ham. They're actually killing everything. Look at these ghosts. How many kills do these guys have by now? The Ravager died to the freaking SCVs, and we are going to survive this attack while having 3 command centers behind it. I don't even have my camera hotkey set up because I guess I really didn't expect to be playing a macro game behind this. So now he's going to fight against the ghost again. He wanted to try kill this Hellion, but I'm not going to let him do that. Let's see if I can get a snipe off on the Overseer. It's barely not going to die, but we have done it. And was it close? I guess not even really. 34 SCVs against 22 drones. 3rd CC done. No mining here at all. He made a Spore after making his spine and sacrificing his natural. So somehow we got freaking ahead from this. Well, that is an absolutely beautiful starter to this episode. Let's keep it going. The second game is against a Terran. Now, normally against a Terran, I think I would go for a Proxy Thor if I had to choose between all the high-tech options. But I think I would love to switch it up and go for... I definitely want to do something with a battlecruiser, but ideally, I think at some point, this is already a very long time ago, maybe like 6 years or so if I had to guess. No. Oh, he doesn't want to play TVT. Well, that's unfortunate for him because he's going to be stuck in his game and I'll torture him with my builds. Well, he can see the MMR on the loading screen. Ah, it's Goombi again. Goombi always writes weird stuff. He always throws me off because he's just incredibly weird. But anyway, I want to go for a double starport BC proxy. I saw this build a long time ago. It was Innovation who did it. One of my absolute all-time favorite Terrans. I don't remember how the build went, but I remember that it was very cool the way he executed. So basically what he did is he went for... I think it was mostly Hellions, like a couple Marines, mostly Hellions. And then he would fly in 2 battlecruisers from here, right? So he'd fly them in, he would have to trade a little bit, maybe teleport back home if there were too many Vikings. Then he gets 2 more BCs. And then when he had 4 battlecruisers combined, he would attack in the front combined with like 12 Hellions. The 12 Hellions would annihilate all the Marines. They would kill all the SCVs. And then he would have a couple of his own Marines to help battle the Vikings. And in that game, it looked very one-sided. I don't think I've ever seen that build look that good since then. It's not like I've seen it used very often, but it was very, very cool. Extremely cool. Now, I decided to go for a Reaper expand just because I'll have more income, unless we find... Okay, there is a barracks here, so we're not getting proxied. I just want to make sure that I can actually afford my gases in time. We could... I didn't see a factory being built or a depot. I'm going to build my factory here, or my CC here, because I believe this could also be a proxy, like a proxied second barracks kind of thing. How do I want to do this exactly? Like, I need 2 SCVs out on the map to make this happen. I also need to be safe. Like, normally I would make a reactor here. But in this case, I'm going to be going for a second depot. Or a second Reaper, rather. So I'm not going to die to just 2 Reapers. If you guys have seen my last video where I did the Battlecruiser challenge, I had a very unfortunate game against Clem where I did indeed kind of die to 2 Reapers, and that's just because some builds can't defend it. Like if you're a little bit too greedy with Reaper Expand, then that could already be it. So far it's just 1 Reaper. I still have to escape my base with the other one. I don't have to escape fast because I can only make one. Well, I can make 2 starports at a time, but I need to make the fusion core anyway, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think I make 1 starport first, and then I'll get the fusion core and the second starport at the same time. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to afford Yamato, but I suppose we'll find out when we get there. Is there anything I have to be particularly afraid of? I would say that the biggest threat is going... Oh, we might kill 1 if I'm... Oh, that wasn't actually the perfect target fire by me. That's unfortunate. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I'm going to be afraid of Cyclones, because Cyclones, they can die to Hellions, but it's not easy to make them die to Hellions, let's put it that way. So I think maybe I should make like a couple more Marines instead of switching over to Hellions right away. So I'm going to make the fusion core first, and then I'll get the second starport. I still desperately need a 4th gas. I guess I'll just build it right away. I'll keep my 2 Reapers over here, start making Marines, and then after this, I'm going to be able to afford my second starport. I guess I'll just build it like right here. It doesn't really matter. So my opponent hasn't really scouted my base. He saw that I had a barracks in a factory, which is obviously not suspicious at all. I do still have big reasons to be afraid, though. Like, I don't have money yet for what I really want to build. I was only able to afford 2 Marines. You can tell that this build is definitely very greedy because I don't really have any defenses, guys. Like, if I'm going to be playing against, like, a Banshee, for example, then I'm also going to be in a lot of trouble. Because what the hell am I going to do against a Banshee? I guess in that case, I'd be forced to make 2 Cyclones instead, which I absolutely cannot afford. I cannot get Yamato yet, unfortunately. I don't think I'm necessarily in a rush, though. Like, it's 2 battlecruisers I want to hit with 4. I don't think I have to rush to get these out as fast as possible. Because I'll put these on auto repair for now. And hold position them so they don't show up on my idle SCV tab. Big pro gaming tips, guys. If you don't want your SCV to show up on the idle SCV tab, don't give them a job. Just hold position them or patrol them. Keep them useless. Just make sure that they're not showing up on the freaking idle tab. I'm gonna have 2 BCs pretty soon. I haven't been able to afford extra Hellions yet. So this build, I think I might have done it like too fast, but that could really still work out. I mean, 2 battlecruisers at once is going to be freaking painful. I'm tempted to make a couple Cyclones here, because I think if I don't, it's not unlikely that I die to some random stuff. Let's see. I think there's a tank back there. Exactly. That it just felt like it for some reason. Probably because he's been so passive, I thought that was going to happen. Guess I'll bring these back for now. It looks... I didn't see any kind of air unit, so it's still not surprising if he has like a medevac out on the map or something. Could be a Liberator as well, by the way. That's also kind of an annoying unit. Okay, so I'm going to save up 2 BCs and then go in with the BCs at the same time. I still don't have Yamato, unfortunately. It's because I made those 2 Cyclones, but yeah, I still stand by the decision. I think it's not a bad idea to go for that. I'm going to start Yamato now. I should be able to get that out before my extra battle cruisers. Okay, so this is going to be funny. 2 BCs is just such an insane thing to deal with so early in the game, but Terran does kind of by default have the tools to deal with it, at least if they're playing a standard build. If he was going for like a 2-on-1 drop, he might actually die to these BCs, but that's unlikely. It's more likely it's going to be Cyclones, Vikings, Marines, you know, that kind of thing. Ravens as well. And that's what's going to be a big problem for me. So let's see. Oh no, he went for extra barracks. Oh, will he actually do it? Does he not have Ravens? Guys, if he doesn't have Ravens, he's going to die. He's okay. Thank goodness, to be honest, for him, because now we can also actually test how strong this build is. Because if he didn't have Ravens, he'd be in trouble. He's gonna use 1 interference matrix, but not the other one yet. I'm gonna make sure to target the Viking. Like, battlecruisers die so freaking slow. Look at this. My 1 BC is actually killing his Vikings. He's not gonna be able to kill that battlecruiser. I think he's doing another interference matrix, but I think he's gonna lose the Vikings before the battlecruiser dies. To be honest, it's really close. I think it's gonna survive on like 1 health. I need to make sure it doesn't die to an auto turret. Can I escape with the battlecruiser? No, it barely dies. Oh my goodness. But we have won the game. Look what he has left. virtually nothing. He has one Raven, one Cyclone. He was making 2 more Vikings, but I already had 2 Battlecruisers, almost 3 with Yamato. He had the 3rd base already. Okay, so he was... First, I saw the barracks and thought he made barracks instead of going for Vikings, but he was just a little greedy. 3rd base landed already with all the gases. Probably wanted to start his upgrades too. And this chase actually looked very strong. I didn't even need any of my Hellions to counter the Marines or anything like that. Like, he's even a bit lucky that he got that one Battlecruiser, to be honest. It was very possible that he wouldn't even kill that, but still, this looks very, very strong. Let's go for game number 3. Game number 3 is against a Protoss. Okay, now there is one cheese I wanted to try today, against Protoss specifically, and it's a build that I heard about, and I think someone did it unsuccessfully against my Protoss, but I really wanted to try it. I don't exactly know how the build goes, but it was something along the lines of making Cyclones from home and proxying a tank. I think it might have been a Hearthstone who did it as well. I mostly read it in my comments, so I don't remember exactly which content creator did it. But if I had to guess, I would say it was Hearthstone. But I only saw the build when it was used against me. And I did manage to defend it. I don't actually remember how I defended it, so that's a little unfortunate. Now, let's see. If I have to think about it without knowing the build in advance, how would I do the build? I think maybe we skip the Reaper. I feel like Reaper would be a little too expensive. I have to send an SCV out early, so I don't get caught by a Probe Scout. Probably this one already, actually, because Probe Scouts do arrive quite early. This map is extremely small. I don't want him to be aware of the fact that there's an SCV on the map, because you can kind of fake them out a little bit. Like, what you can do is send the SCV to their base and then send it back, but then divert to another location. But I would rather just not have my opponent know there is an SCV on the map to begin with. Now, do I wall off this base? I don't think I'm going to wall it off. Mostly for the reason that I don't want this to look sus. If I walled it off, he's probably going to think it's sus. I think making a Marine here is actually a little bit suspicious already, unfortunately. Now, which factory do I make first? Probably the one in my main base. It's not an easy decision because tanks are going to build like pretty slow, especially because I have to make a tech lab for them. So I'm actually not quite sure what is the right decision here. Now, he's not going to see that I'm building a Marine, which is nice. I should probably make this factory before the supply depot. I think that sounds about right. So I'm going to make this factory over here. It is really far away, by the way. Like, it's actually incredibly far away. Now, do I make a reactor on this? Could I afford 2 Cyclones and 1 tank from a 1-base economy? I want to say no, but it would probably be close. I think I'm just going to try it. I'm going to fly this over here, make the reactor. Start by making 1 Cyclone. And then either I can afford 2 Cyclones at once, or I can just have the reactor for the memes. And then we know for the next time I do this build that this was a very bad way to go about it. You got to learn by making mistakes, guys. You can't always do the perfect build. Oh, for a second I thought I saw something on the minimap. Hope I was hallucinating, as per usual. So I'm going to get a tech lab over here. Okay, in theory, I should wait for 3 siege tanks. And the reason for that is that 3 siege tanks is the magic number for when you can start killing units through a battery. I know that sounds crazy, but it is actually true. Like, you're not going to kill Immortals and Stalkers through a battery unless you have 3 siege tanks, which is a pretty crazy amount. Now, if there's no Immortal, 2 siege tanks is also going to bring you a pretty long way. But you're still not going to trade as efficiently as you would like. Now, I hope I didn't miss the probe over here. I really hope he didn't actually see my base at some point. I think we're going to go with 2 siege tanks, because otherwise this build would just be a little bit too crazy. Like, I would hit so freaking late. Actually, I think I would hit like right before 5 minutes, which means Blink would be finished. And that's, I think, just a little bit too much. 2 tanks sounds like a decent amount. I'm even going to be able... Wait, I can actually afford 2 Cyclones and 1 tank on 1 base. Huh. Not bad at all. I'm going to have to cancel this Marine. So Marines are definitely a no-go. So this is going to be 5 Cyclones and 2 siege tanks. Now, obviously, if my opponent were ever to find this proxy, we would be in trouble instantly. So I hope he doesn't. Definitely going to bring a couple SCVs as well. How many, I don't know yet. Oh, that's actually a couple of adepts. We're going to be able to kill a bunch of them. Wait, that probably means that we're going to go up against a Stargate. Which in turn means that I should maybe even make Cyclones from this factory too. Because otherwise, like, either Phoenixes or too many Oracles or maybe even Void Rays could mess me up. I feel like I should really have enough Cyclones, though, for how many air units he's going to be able to have. So, okay, there's Stalkers out here, which is quite interesting. He might try to get some free damage. Then make sure to micro well. There's a Robo out now, but I have my tanks here already. Let's see. Okay, here are my tanks. I'm going to siege them pretty far forward. Okay, so there is a battery, but the battery is pretty far away. That is actually going to be very exciting. Wait, he's not repairing it. Or he's not healing it. He could have overcharged the battery. Maybe he was actually out of energy. If there's no battery overcharge, I don't think I even need a third siege tank here. It looks like he is going to go for somewhat of a counterattack. He's trying to get in here. He does have Blink already. Just going to have to micro my Cyclones backwards. These Cyclones can take care of the Adepts in the middle of the map. Now, he might still use the battery overcharge, so I do need to be careful for that. I think I should be able to... No, I don't think so, because I'm not going to get the lock on again. Let's see, is he going to push in yet? Not quite yet. I'm just going to move forward very slowly. He's probably going to try to target a low HP Cyclone. Every time he does, I'm going to get another big hit. He's going to lose that final battery. At least I think it was the final one. And that is a pretty big deal. My army is looking pretty spectacular, I have to say. Now, if I was him, I would go for DTs here, to be honest. So I might want to be saving my... These things are never going to struggle here. The only thing that could save him right now is either like charge lots coming out of nowhere or DTs, I think. If it's not one of those things, I don't really know what he can do. I do need to bring my tanks a little closer. Let's see. Stalkers went up into the high ground. Let me just check quickly here with the SCV. He might have blinked a couple Stalkers down on the low ground. I'm not 100% sure about that, but he could have. Exactly. So here's the Stalkers, which probably means I should go forward with the rest of my units now. He does have a sentry, so I'm going to have to... maybe I should run up right now. I think it's not even the craziest idea, to be honest. We're going to go up here now because the tanks are already in position. He's going to try to force field me, but oh man, these tanks in the low ground are going to do so much work. The batteries aren't finished yet either. He's going to start losing the probes. Now I should probably focus down the batteries. I can probably kill it with one tank shot as well because it's a little bit too close. These Cyclones are getting pretty low HP, which is a little scary. Now these Stalkers could theoretically kill everything I have because Cyclones are just too bad against this kind of stuff. But it doesn't look like he's going to be aggressive enough to make that happen. I think I'm going to put another tank on the low ground or on the high ground rather. These tanks are doing so well against the Stalkers. Well played with an exclamation mark. Makes it sound a little bit sarcastic, but maybe he was speaking the truth there. He was making a Dark Shrine. Could have made that earlier. Wasn't quite finished. But this build actually did look quite strong. I do think like even one Immortal with a Prism would make such a big difference. Or maybe a Stargate. Or maybe him realizing what we were doing earlier. But this game, it looked very, very strong. Let's go for another one. Game 4 is going to be against the Protoss. Now, we have one high-tech unit left that I mentioned before, but we haven't built yet. And that is going to be the Proxy Thor, of course. Now, I think I am going to start with an engineering bay block. Actually, yo, this map is pretty scary to proxy on, you know? I feel like I've complained about this map before. Because it's just like two narrow hallways. And I don't know where I would even proxy something here. Like, imagine if maybe I can't engineering bay block him, which sounds very stupid, but I think I could try. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna engineering bay block him, and I'm just gonna hope that he sees it in time to try and fight the engineering bay rather than take another third base. Because if they take another third base here, I think I might actually have nowhere to proxy. Like, look at this, right? If he takes this base, then I can't proxy anywhere here, and the Adept goes through this hallway. I think I might actually have nowhere to proxy if that's the case. But what if he takes the rich gas? Oh, wait, that is a cool idea. It's possible that they will take the rich gas base in the front, and then if I proxy it over here, that could be pretty killer. I can also just try to proxy the factory in plain sight, of course. That would be pretty nice. I can't believe I dodged the probe in the middle, by the way, because I wasn't even really paying attention to dodging it, even though I really should have. But for some reason, I just chose the right alley at the right time, which I guess is nice for me. And actually, I like this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to block this base prematurely. I hope he didn't already move over here. If he did that, no, he didn't. Okay, that's nice. So I can block this prematurely. So if he sends his probe over here, I'll be ready. No, okay, he's going to try to take that one. That is perfect. Then I can build my factory over here. And that should be quite nice. My gas was a pretty good timing too. Here we go. Factory's going to come down. It is quite close to the ramp, you know. Like, it's definitely not invisible. But I feel like it should be in a good enough location for now. Going to make one Reaper, then a reactor for Marines. I guess I'll make the armory first, followed by the starport. That sounds about right. Now, the fact that he's killing this is actually suspicious as hell. He's killing this with only 2 probes, now just with 1 probe. So I have to imagine he's building something. Either he's just chrono boosting his probes and whatever, but I think he might be building a Stargate or something, because it is a little suspicious. Can I block this with my Reaper? Probably not. Oh, we're barely not going to be able to block it, unfortunately. I should be able to kill this probe. You're trying to make a battery, but I killed it. That is nice. All right, so now I'm going to make the starport. All nice in plain sight. He's going to send the Zealot across. And he's going to send the Adept across too, interestingly enough. I mean, okay, I don't have anything for him to kill at home, but now I'm going to be able to get some more probes, I think, which is really nice. And I'm going to be able to scout this tech. I like how he was pulling that towards my Reaper for a second. That would have been a pretty funny kill. Now, let's see. Oh, it is a Stargate. Okay, that is not really what I wanted to see. Mostly for... Oh my god, I actually killed that probe. Mostly for the reason that 1 Void Ray counters a Thor. So you guys can imagine that would be a little painful. I'm not going to be able to start the Thor yet. Armories do take a while to build. I think I might even be able to sneak in another depot, because I'm going to need that later anyway for sure. The thing here is that it's... The Void Ray is the least likely unit, but his Adept has scouted that I have no expansion over here. So that makes it more likely. If I was him, I would still make an Oracle, because Oracle has both... the scouting and the possibilities to defend, right? Like stasis is, or... I don't really know what all in he thinks this is going to be, right? But the Oracle does have a lot of usage. And I think I'm just going to pull a lot of SCVs with the first Thor already. I think it's time for me to go. I'm going to send 6 Marines across the map. This Thor is going to finish just in time. And despite there being a Stargate, I think we're still going to have a pretty strong attack here, honestly. Like, this Thor hits... It's 4 minutes in the game, guys. This Thor hits so freaking fast. It's actually kind of absurd. Okay, so I'm going to cancel one of my SCVs so I can make another one. The army is just a little bit too late. That could have been a little bit faster. Now, let's see what I'm going to find. Oh, he's going to lose a battery instantly. Wait, is that a real Phoenix? Guys, I think that's a real Phoenix. Oh, no, that's... He can't kill this Thor. I don't think he has a single unit that can kill this Thor right now. That's scared. Okay, this is actually just funny. Like, this Thor would win the game on his own, together with the medevac, of course. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. He made 2 Phoenixes, and I was going for a Thor. But he scouted that I had no expansion. I have no idea what he was doing with the Phoenixes. I guess he was probably... Wait, he even scouted the main base, or was that later on? Wait, did he... When did he scout? Oh, no, he scouted it just now with his feet. Okay, that's fair enough. Like, he scouted this later. He saw there was nothing going on. The Thor was already there, so we're going to forgive him for that. But this was pretty brutal, man. He had literally nothing to kill this Thor. I didn't need the Marines or the SCVs or anything. This was beautiful. Now, let's play a final game. Okay, the last game of the day is against another Protoss player. Now, what I wanted to do for the last game is go for a super fast, hyper turbo Hellion drop proxy. This is a build that I have been doing versions of, I want to say even since like 2011 or something. Like, it's been very long, where, keep in mind, in Wings with Liberty, Protoss players didn't actually have, I think, any defensive mechanics. I don't think there was pylon overcharge, Nexus overcharge, batteries. I don't think any of that was actually there. So if you got a Hellion drop in their base and they would just have 1 Stalker, no battery or Mothership Core or whatever we had, you know, along all the days, it was pretty hard to defend. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the fastest possible Hellion drop. I am going to make the barracks at home, because I think that actually doesn't make a difference. I could be wrong here, but I feel like the time it takes to get a starport and a medevac out means that you can run 4 Hellions across the map already. So there I can save a little bit of cost. I do need to go gas first, double gas, which is pretty freaking insane. Like, that's just crazy expensive. I think I'm going to send this SCV out on the map. This one could be spotted by a probe, but this map is quite big. So I feel like we should be able to escape before the probe hits here. If we don't, then we're just going to look incredibly awkward. But I think we're going to be fine. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to probe scout us. Might as well scout for proxies a little bit while I'm here. See if we can find like a gateway or something. So I'm going to have to go Marine first. The thing is, I'm going to have enough gas to play Reaper and make the factory. But the Reaper takes too long to build. Wait, can I? Yeah, I'm still gonna make the Marine. Which means that the reactor would be too late for the Hellions. Now, I'm not even sure if I need like all this gas anymore. Like, I need to make the reactor now, and then I'll build the star. I think I can actually cut 2 out of gas. I hope this is not being too greedy. He's only gonna walk up the ramp now. Let's keep in mind that I still need to make a supply depot. I'm gonna be able to kill this probe if I don't mess up my micro horribly. There we go. That is dead. I'm gonna go check over here. I'm gonna make my starport down here. Just because I think there's a chance he might look over here next to his gold base, right? I feel like that's a pretty smart decision. So it's going to finish, and I'll build the starport instantly. There we go. I still have to make a pylon here as well. Can I afford that right now? I think I should be able to. Hope I'm not accidentally going to mess this up. And what I would like to do as follow-up is maybe go for like speed banshees or something. That's what I had in mind. Okay, let's lift those immediately. There we go. 2 Hellions are going to start. And this attack should hit at about 3:30. And I don't think he can really have too much by that time. I could also go for a battlecruiser follow-up to this, which is freaking insane. But I did already make a battlecruiser. I made a bunch of battlecruisers, in fact. So it would be really cool if I could switch it up a little bit. Now, I think my Hellions are going to arrive a couple seconds late. Like probably 3 to 5 seconds late. So maybe I should have actually proxied everything. But now... Well, I was going to say maybe it's less suspicious. But I'm not even sure if it's less suspicious, to be honest. Let's see. I could go for an armory, too. Should I go for like some really weird like Marauder or Hellbat attack off of our proxy? That'd be very funny. So he has a Stalker in the front. Yeah, my Hellions are definitely going to arrive just a little bit late. Like really barely. But they are going to arrive a little bit late. I'm going to make a Liberator here, I think. I feel like that sounds about right. And then I'll start making Marauders with Stim. The Hellions are indeed going to arrive just ever so slightly too late. And I'm just going to go straight into the main base. I can't believe he sent his units over here instead of checking in the natural. That's actually legendary timing with my opponent, I have to admit. Slight miscontrol there by me. Going to kill a couple more of these. Hopefully I can get at least one more big shot. Not the best micro by me, I have to admit. He's also not targeting the right Hellion, though. He's taking so much extra damage from this. And now I have a couple more. I'm going to get 2 Hellions in the natural now, too. Those are going to start shooting those probes. And I still have the Hellions over here. I don't think he realized how fast I was coming back with these. Let's see, can I escape with these once more? Looks like I can. I have my Liberator over here now as well. I'm going to start Stim. Don't want to lose these yet. Maybe I can... No, okay, he was paying attention. That would have been a super nice move. I want to make an armory at some point. And try to finish it off with like a big Hellbat attack. I feel like that would be freaking epic. Now he's going to see this. Oh, he actually got baited by these Hellions over here. He's going to start losing probes to that now, which is really nice. Going to click this one over here. I did lose the medevac. Not sure if he had blink or I just didn't click it far enough. I want to guess that it was the second option, to be honest. Probably just misrallied that a little bit. And this has been all very hectic, but we do have a lot of stuff alive still, and we killed a lot of probes. Now, I don't quite have that many Marauders yet, unfortunately. That would make this all a lot easier. Okay, so he still has Stalkers there and a Sentry, at least. We know that now, of course. Armory should finish by the time my last Marauder shows up to his base. I'm going to have a... actually, 2 medevacs. That was just 1. I'm going to have 2 medevacs for that. Probably should follow it up by making another Liberator, because Liberators are going to be so freaking good at the harassment. I think I'm actually going to send this one back, try to grab those couple Marauders. Maybe it'll move things along a little bit faster. Stim is not ready yet. That is a slight concern. Like, I'm not going to have Stim yet. If I had Stim, this would be absolutely freaking brutal. Right now, it's not going to be that brutal yet. Okay, let's see. He doesn't actually have that many units here. He's probably going to drop a force field if I had to guess. Which means I'm now just going to morph them into Hellbats. Wait a second, guys. I could just drop over here. Check this out. I'm going to drop this over here. Liberator is going to re-siege over there. Those Hellbats are doing so good. Hellbats being healed by medevacs do not die in the early game, by the way. Stim is going to finish, I think, any second now. Quite literally. Let me kill that. Okay, that's going to fall. Going to target a Stalker with those Marauders. Hellbats on the probes. And that is an absolute banger. Liberator was destroying the probes as well. His income right now is, well... actually literally 1 probe. It hasn't quite gone down there, but literally 1 probe. And those were my 5 cheeses, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed these super weird cheeses. I think we did Ghost, Thors, Battle Cruisers, something else that I forgot. And oh, the Cyclone Tank and this cheese. Absolutely beautiful. And they all worked really well. I didn't need extra takes for any of these games. Really proves that if you do a good cheese, you execute it well. It is just freaking strong. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.